in the subject of basic of mechanical engineering, and the topic throttling calorimeter and combined separating calorimeter we have to study in this lecture. Two topics is there: throttling calorimeter and combined separating and throttling calorimeter. In previous lecture we have to study bucket and barrel calorimeter and separating calorimeter. These are independent. Bucket calorimeter are a initial stage dryness fraction can measure. It's not an accurate. Separating calorimeter also not given accurate, but we will give the perfect value near about. Also same for is a throttling calorimeter. Throttling calorimeter is not a perfect given value for a dryness fraction x, but it's giving a near about perfect value. But using of combined separating and throttling calorimeter, it's a give a perfect value near about the actual value for a dryness fraction f. Let's we have to see the first is a throttling calorimeter. Here is a first we have to know all the component part of the throttling calorimeter. Here is a given one exhaust. Exhaust means the excess steam from the throttling calorimeter can exhaust from this point. Then after the inner cylinder means the steam pass from this calorimeter and it's give a long path to move inside the throttling calorimeter. Here these pipe are known as a main steam line or higher pressure steam coming from this line. Then after the another component is a sampling tube. Sampling tube means some of the steam we have to carry out from the main steam line to measure a dryness fraction through throttling calorimeter. Here is a given a one throttle valve. The function for this throttle valve is reduce the pressure from the steam at the main steam line and enter low pressurized steam into the throttling calorimeter. This is the function for throttling valve. Then after the one another component is there, thermometer in pocket filled with this cylinder oil. One cylinder inside the put inside the throttling calorimeter and it's filled with oil or some of the water which are mixed with some impurities. Not a pure water we have to using inside this cylinder, because of we have to measuring a temperature of steam before and after starting of the throttling calorimeter. Second thing, what is the pressure of the steam? It can be measured by the manometer. After a throttling process, steam can be become a superheated. Then after that it's have a some temperature and some pressure. Temperature are measured by the thermometer and pressure are measured by the U-tube manometer. U-tube manometer is the one end is open at atmosphere and one end is connected to a directly throttling calorimeter, and it's give a pressure difference between throttling calorimeter to atmospheric condition. Here is a difference shown in there. The gauge pressure after throttling pressure means it's rise this type of the pressure. These pressure are given by the throttling valve and it's a reducing pressure. Let's we have to try to understand our working of the throttling calorimeter. Throttling calorimeter, which essential consists of throttle valve, pressure gauge, thermometer and U-tube manometer. Here is a one also attach a pressure gauge, but then is the figure are not showing there. First, the steam are passing from this main steam line at this time. Its pressure and temperature is very high. The steam level is a superheated condition. It is a completely dry steam, where is the x value is 1. For a measuring of dryness fraction, we have to carry out some steam through sampling tube. You have to carry some steam out from the main steam line through sampling tube. but the steam pressure and temperature is very high, the throttling calorimeter cannot sustain. So it's required to put some valve to reduce the pressure of the steam. That's called as a throttle valve. Throttle valve can reduce the pressure of the main steam. Then after this steam are enter into the throttling calorimeter and directly contact to thermometer in pocket filled with the cylinder oil. It's contact with this one. Then after the temperature or heat transfer from steam to this oil, means here is the steam pass from the throttle valve. Before and after throttling, temperature it may be remain constant or it may be convert into the superheated steam. This temperature are or heat are exchanged between the steam and this oil, and then oil are gain the heat from the steam and increase the temperature of this oil. This temperature are measured by the thermometer before and after. First temperature are measured by the T1 and second temperature are measured by T2 after the completion of process. Then after this steam are passed this way, and from this side it's a exhaust from the throttling calorimeter. Same are the both side. Here you have to know the cut section of this area, it's a completely circular form. So steam can pass around all the face of the cylinder oil, and it's a perfect measure the temperature of steam. Also it's have a some pressure. This some pressure are measured by the U-tube manometer. This U-tube manometer limb first are connected to a throttle calorimeter and is giving a pressure difference between related to atmospheric condition. Here is a pressure is given by the throttling calorimeter, and here is a pressure as given by at a atmospheric condition. This portion are called as a pressure difference between U-tube manometer. That's also known as a inside pressure of throttling calorimeter. In which type of the fluid are used in manometer? Some of them used as a water or mercury used for a inside manometer working fluid. This is the working of the throttling calorimeter. Then after the calculation for throttling calorimeter, as we know that during throttling process enthalpy remain constant. Enthalpy are not changed during the any type of the throttling process. In fact, we have to use measure dryness fraction of wet steam. Here is a throttling process before and after. We can give the calculation of the steam before throttling process and after throttling process. Enthalpy remain constant. What is the process are changed? Enthalpy before throttling and enthalpy after throttling. Here this equation are the enthalpy for wet, and here this equation are enthalpy for superheated condition. It means that after throttling process steam become a superheated. Here we have to balance the both side of the before and after throttling process. Here this equation mentioned as a equation of wet enthalpy, and here equation mentioned as a enthalpy for superheated condition. It means that the throttling process before and after, it's a change in a condition of the steam. Like as a before throttling process is in a wet condition, and after throttling process it's become a superheated condition. First we have to know all parameter for this the equation x1 is equal to unknown dryness fraction. we have not to know what is the dryness fraction for steam. We have to define it by our calculation. HF1, enthalpy of saturated liquid at given pressure P1, and the unit for all enthalpy is kilojoule per kg. HFG1, latent heat of the steam at pressure P1, and HF2, sensible heat of the steam at pressure P2. Here also we call as a HFG, enthalpy of fluid plus gas, means mixture of enthalpy. And here also HF also called as a enthalpy of fluid. Sensible heat means that there is a completely liquid available and it's a gaining a heat from the external sources. That's also called as a sensible heat. And here why are you to say as a latent heat? Because of at this point fluid and gas both are available, means mixture of fluid and gas is available. It means that the fluid are converting into the gas. At this time the active heat is called as a latent heat and temperature remain constant. HFG2, latent heat of the steam at pressure P2. CPS, specific heat of superheated steam at constant pressure 2.1 kilojoule per kg Kelvin. This is the standard value for the superheated steam. Specific heat at constant pressure, you have to remember that. TSUP2, temperature of steam measured by the thermometer after throttling process. And TS2, saturation temperature of the steam at pressure P2. This is the parameter are using in this equation. Before and after throttling process we have to write this equation, and this equation already we have to discuss in our last lecture. This equation, enthalpy for wet HF plus X1 HFG1 is equal to equation for superheated steam HF2 and HFG2. For this equation we also can write as a HG. HG is equal to HF plus HFG. Here we can also write as a HG. This also on right. Plus CPS, specific heat at constant pressure, and temperature difference between before and after throttling process. Here we to converted as a HG2. Then after the gives the capital for X1 and the equation are made from this. This equation called as a dryness fraction measurement for throttling calorimeter. Equation R is a very easy. Just you have to remember two equation, enthalpy for wet and enthalpy for superheated. Both equation you have to compare and capital for X1 and rearrange your equation. That's equation called as a dryness fraction X measurement for throttling calorimeter. The next is a combine separating and throttling calorimeter. You have to use two calorimeter for measuring of dryness fraction X. First put in a sequence a separating calorimeter, and then after put in a throttling calorimeter. As per the name, for an examination whenever you draw this figure you have to remember that the first calorimeter we have to put separating and then after put throttling calorimeter. This is the sequence for that. Also you have to remember what is question say, combine separating and throttling. So first you have to draw separating and then after the draw throttling calorimeter. Let's we have to start the understanding. All of the parameter and component you know very well because of you have to completed the all types of the calorimeter. Just we have to overview combine separating and throttling calorimeter. This is the main steam line where is the steam are passed at a higher pressure and higher temperature. Then after the some steam we have to collect from the main steam line for measuring a dryness fraction F. Then after say for steam initial stage P1 and X1, pressure P1 dryness fraction x1 and also call temperature T1 at here. Then after this higher pressurized and higher temperature steam pass through the throttle valve or pressure reducing valve. After the reducing pressure, steam pass into the separating calorimeter. Here you have to reducing pressure of the steam, it start to convert some dry particle into the wet particle. So it's necessary to we have to separate both dry and wet particle. This is the separator or perforated trace. It's are separated dry and wet particle. Wet particle are collected here and this wet particle convert into the water droplet and collected in this chamber, and the dry particle are moved from the next stage in a throttling calorimeter, and some of the dry particle are separated to a bucket to measure a weight of this the dry particle. Here for this separating calorimeter, one indicator is given that's called as a water level indicator to know the water inside the separating calorimeter, how many wet particles are collected inside the separating calorimeter. Then after the given one pressure gauge to measure the pressure of steam at level 2, so it's called as a P2. Then after we have to measuring again dryness fraction for this steam, also called as a X2. One is given here and secondary dryness fraction we have to measure from this position. That's part are start as a second part of this combined calorimeter. The steam are passed from the throttle valve. Before and after throttling process, it's become a superheated, and then after this steam enter into the throttling calorimeter, the temperature are measured by this thermometer, and the excess steam are moved from this way to exhaust at this point, and the pressure of this steam we have to measure by the U-tube manometer. Here also we have to measure mass of steam coming out from the throttling calorimeter. Here we have to measure mass of steam denoted by small m, and here is the some of the steam are collected from the separating calorimeter, that's called or denoted by the capital M, separated moisture and separating calorimeter. Here the one put bucket calorimeter to measure the mass of steam. This is the combined separating and throttling calorimeter. Let's view to know it's a calculation steps. The calculation, if x1 is a dryness fraction of steam measured by the separating calorimeter, the first we have to measure dryness fraction for separating calorimeter and give denoted by x1. X1 is equal to m divided by little m plus capital M. Little m means mass of steam condense and collect from the condenser. Condenser means here is the bucket calorimeter given the bottom side of the separating calorimeter. Here we have to put one bucket calorimeter to collect the steam from the separating calorimeter. The capital M mass of water collected from the separating calorimeter. The separating calorimeter are collected from the mass at the here. Here we have to collected mass from the separating calorimeter. The equation is that x1 is equal to m little m divided by little m plus capital M. Then after the steam pass to throttling calorimeter. Here is a throttling calorimeter, the dryness fraction and measure, that's called as a x2. The dryness fraction of the steam entering throttling calorimeter, then x2 can be calculated using for the equation to give a different from 1 and 2. The throttling calorimeter, the equation for that, the after before and after steam condition, the before throttling process steam are wet, and after throttling process it's become a superheated steam. Then after we have to write this equation for a throttling calorimeter. Then after the next Let's X be the initial dryness fraction of the steam, then the original water droplet in the sample is 1 minus X. First we have to consider dryness fraction for first calorimeter 1 minus X, and then after the mass little m plus capital M. Little m and capital M is means that the mass are moving from this position. Mass are moving from this position means small m and capital M, because of the sum of the mass we have to remove here and sum of the mass we have to remove here. So we have to calculate both m and n. Out of this 1 minus x1 for first calorimeter and m plus m is removed by the separating calorimeter. Here the m plus m is removed by the separating calorimeter. Some mass are removed from the separating calorimeter and other mass of the steam is transferred to throttling calorimeter, but dryness fraction is 1 minus x1 and 1 minus x2 into m kg is passed through the throttling calorimeter. Secondary calorimeter can measure the another dryness fraction that's generated by x2 means 1 minus x2, and m mass is passed through the throttling calorimeter. Here is a m mass are passed through the throttling calorimeter. Here is a both mass available, just have to highlight from a different color. Here is a total mass m plus m. For a separating calorimeter, one mass capital M is here and small here you to pass. That's a combination from capital M and little m. There is a m plus m, capital M and little m. Then after the throttling calorimeter only receive the small m, means sum of the mass we have to remove here. So for the writing for throttling calorimeter 1 minus x into small m. Let's we have to put all the parameter in our equation. First the steam are passed from the main steam line, then after the pass from the separating calorimeter, then after the pass from the throttling calorimeter, we have to put the all equation. From the separating and throttling calorimeter, total steam R is equal to a, we have to collect it from the main steam line through sampling tube. 1 minus x into capital M plus little m is equal to separating calorimeter 1 minus x1 and total mass plus secondary calorimeter throttling calorimeter 1 minus x2 into m. Just we have to give out capital M plus little m outside of the equation. The equation becomes that 1 minus x is equal to 1 minus x1 plus here is a only m, so it's that 1 minus x2 m divided by capital M plus little m. We have to substituting value for m divided by m plus m is equal to x. We have to write the equation for an separating calorimeter is equal to m divided by little m plus capital M. We have to substituting value for this value is a x. That's value are become a x because of this process occur into the separating calorimeter, and we have to give the x1. Then have to write our equation again as a 1 minus x is equal to 1 minus x1 plus 1 minus x2. Then have to calculate the value for the all parameter and open the bracket, and the final equation we can get for a dryness fraction x is equal to x is equal to x1 into x2. Dryness fraction x is equal to dryness fraction for separating calorimeter and dryness fraction for throttling calorimeter. This is the equation defining a dryness fraction for combined calorimeter. Okay. Thank you.